Salinas, California, Temple Bethel. I'm Cantor Martin Bruner, religious leader, and thank you for joining us for our Yom HaShoah Holocaust Remembrance Service. I hope everybody has a program, and glad that you could all join us this evening, and we're glad to have Mayor Donahue with us this evening, and June Radicki, good old interfaith clergy colleague and friend. And tonight's program was really a labor of love and a pleasure for me to compile, because it has words from Rabbi Marcy Delbick, who was the rabbi who preceded me and who died tragically young. And she was actually a wonderful, sensitive poet, and it just felt like for a service of memory, it was lovely to include her words, and I kind of feel like she's with us this evening. And I also compiled readings from our own Mishkan Tefillah, which has a Yom HaShoah service in it with wonderful poetry. And also the candle lighting ceremony I adapted a little bit from Rabbi Bruce Greenbaum from CBI in Carmel. So that's what this service is made up of. And I was interviewed for the 5 o'clock evening news, and I don't know why this was an important question, but the question was, why is Yom HaShoah, the 27th of Nisan, which is the Jewish date, different from International Holocaust Day, which is on January 27th? And the answer is that the International Holocaust Day is meant for everyone to remember all the victims of the Holocaust, whereas Yom HaShoah was established in the 1950s as a day when the Jewish family mourns, according to Rabbi Abraham Cooper of the Simon Wiesenthal Center. And the rabbis chose the 27th day of Nisan, which is actually on Friday, but we don't have Yom HaShoah on Erev Shabbat, so we're having it tonight. It's been 80 years, by the way, since the end of World War II, but the rabbis chose this day because to recall the 6 million Jews of Europe who were tortured and murdered because it falls between the outbreak of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising and Israel's Independence Day, Yom HaAtzmaut. If anybody's ever been in Israel on Yom HaZikaron or Yom HaShoah, the entire nation stops, a siren sounds, and every single person gets out of their car, stops what they're doing, they stand in utter silence and attention for the whole minute that the siren is sounded. It's quite awesome. Literally the whole entire country will stop for that. So I just can't, I can't overstate, and I can't hold back. I'm sorry, you guys, but we are feeling like we're living in 1933 Germany. Today, Trump issued a bunch of executive orders limiting education, what you can and cannot teach. 2 German tourists were put into restrictive areas and sent back from Hawaii because they didn't have every single day booked out in their trip. They were strip searched. They had to go back to Japan, and then I don't know if they went home again. In Pomona, California today, people who just want to work were at Home Depot and they were taken away by ICE. I'm sure it's happening in Monterey County, but we cannot be silent. If HaShoah has taught us anything, especially as Jews, we can't be silent. This is how Nazi Germany started. It was a trickle here, a little bit there, a civil right taken away here, a civil right just little ebbs and little bits until all of a sudden we had no rights and we lost 6 million. So please, participate in democracy, go to marches, go to protests, make your voice heard. Don't be afraid to call out something that's wrong if you're uncomfortable with it. We still have freedom of expression in this country. And we have it in Salinas, and I'm very proud of our mayor because we had a very long city hall meeting last night, city supervisors, and people were there expressing all their differences of opinions. But you know what? People felt safe to do so. And I was there, and I intermingled with people of different socioeconomic backgrounds, and it was inspiring for me to feel like I was participating in democracy. And you know, we can only do at the grassroots level. We start in our communities, and we stand up for what's right. We learn, and we try to learn about the issues and learn about what's important. So I'm glad we're all here tonight to participate in this service. I talked way too much, and our opening reading is on the first page. And we didn't begin with silence, we began with talking. But now we will begin with silence. This is a reading taken from our own Mishkan Tefillah. We begin with silence. The silence of death, the silence of destruction. There are times when songs falter and when darkness fills life. When martyrdom becomes a constellation of faith against the unrelieved lack of space about us. There are no words to reach beyond the edge of night, no messenger to tell the full tale. There is only silence. The silence of Job. The silence of the 6 million. The silence of memory. Let us remember them as we link our silences. And as we rise to hear the plaintive call of the shofar, awakening us, arousing our hearts and souls and minds, and giving us a united voice, Zachor, we cry, remember. We must shout to the world, remember them with our silence, with our voices, and most importantly with our deeds, with our acts of loving kindness to all creation. Please rise as we listen to the voice of the shofar. How can we fathom this enormity of loss? Our hearts try to gather in the countless faces. You, Holy One, summon each. Images burned in your remembrance. Help us to recall. Help us to recall their lives and their destruction. Bring us to your sacred place of memory, not only to bear witness, but to reassemble faith, to recover the defiled and make it holy. Those slender flames are a promise and a charge, calling us to honor and to imitate righteousness. These flames illuminate through sword and hope's future, your searing reminder, do not forget, O God. Let us bless you, Holy One, touching fire to wick, 6 candles to burn in testimony. Let us bless you, Holy One, for you dry our tears, you comfort martyred souls, you bring us shalom. Please be seated and prepare for our first candle lighting. Rebecca Ganauer will light our first candle. We kindle these lights in memory of the 6 million Jews murdered by the Nazis and their collaborators. May the memory of the righteous be for a blessing. Zichronom livracha. like that one, try this one.
Okay.
Praise you.
This first light represents the light of compassion. This candle represents the soul of the poet, the song of the musician, the lives of all the artists lost, those that dared to speak out, those that identified as different in some way. Non-Jews that showed compassion by hiding Jews and helping them to escape. Compassion. We hold dear in our hearts thoughts of what could have been if only.
Our second candle this evening is lit by HaShoah.
Can I just light it from there?
Yeah.
Pass the flame
Why not?
down?
Why
Thank
not?
you.
Yes.
For sharing.
Yes.
Lena? The second candle reminds us of the children. How many children were lost? And children of those children. Lives that should have been, but are not. This is the light of innocence. Babies, youth, teenagers, young love that was never given a chance. We hold dear in our hearts thoughts of what could have been, if only.
The third candle burns for the women who were lost. Their warmth, their tenderness, their strength could not be destroyed even in the face of cruelty and brutality. Young women and red mothers alike, torn from their families, but not from our hearts. And we think, if only.
Please join me in singing A by the wonderful poet Hannah Senesh. She was also a resistance fighter, and she wrote this beautiful song. If you know it, please join me. continue on page 4. Page 3, excuse me, the bottom of page 3.
That's okay. Yeah.
We're in with us.
Yeah.
The fourth candle shines for the men who were taken from this world. So many fought to keep their spirit alive, their hopes intact. But the weight of the task demanded of them, the forced labor and the insufferable conditions remain their burden. We hold dear in our hearts the thoughts of what could have been, if only.
And our fifth candle is lit by the president of our congregation, Joseph Judy. And Joe Judy is a child of his parents were Holocaust survivors, and you may know his story, and if you don't, you may share some of it with us.
The fifth candle cries out the message of truth. Let none dare say this loss was insignificant. All must see the horrors of the past. Let the pain of human suffering and human loss alert us to the realities of what humanity can become. May this light force all to see what is real. We hold dear in our hearts thoughts of what could have been, if only.
You'd like to speak, you know.
When I came into Shul this evening, I looked on the wall and saw the plaques memorializing my parents. They had a hard life and made a good life here as immigrants to our country. It's striking to me to see what has happened recently to change our country's attitudes for many. I hope that events like what we're holding tonight will help to illuminate the hearts of those that may have doubts. Immigrants built this country. My parents were among them. Had they not survived the Holocaust, my brother and I would not be enjoying the lives that we have today, and the contributions we are able to make to this country and society at large. May we never forget those that perished, those that survived, and the children of the Holocaust, of which my brother and I are two.
And our sixth candle on page 4 is lit this evening by Mayor Dennis Donahue.
That's the old-fashioned way.
The sixth candle stands for wisdom and knowledge. Many have tried to understand the lessons of this horrific period. We cannot let this type of tragedy destroy more of humanity. But still we hear about ethnic cleansing, about unbelievable suffering today. May this light burn a passion within us so that we might stand up and cry out, not now, not in our lifetime. Only when we are all treated equally and fairly, when all are given the opportunity to thrive, men, women, and children, then our thoughts will not be, if only.
Let us all read together in the middle of page 4, the soul of humanity. Together, the human spirit is the light of God. As we look at these lights, try to imagine 6 million candles, each one with the name of another Jew. Each one would signify a unique and precious soul who struggled and had hope, who was part of a family, an orphan, a widow, or a widower. They worked, studied, took walks, the ordinary things of life. They celebrated births and weddings, mourned at funerals. All were part of the Jewish people. Each one was a separate individual. Each one suffered. Each and every one was murdered. Anima Amin. These words were based on Maimonides' 13 Articles of Faith. This melody was sung by the Jews in the Warsaw Ghetto who were being taken to their death, and this melody was transcribed from Vishnitz by Elie Wiesel.
In Germany, the Nazis came for the communists, and I did not speak up because I was not a communist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak up because I was not a Jew. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak up because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for me. By that time, there was no one to speak up for me.
Please rise. O God, full of mercy, defender of widows and fathers of orphans, be not silent or restrained regarding the blood which was spilt like water. Grant proper rest beneath the wings of your presence in the great heights of the holy and pure, who like the brilliance of the heavens give light and shine for the souls of multitudes of thousands, men, women, boys, and girls who were killed and slaughtered and burnt and suffocated and buried alive in the lands touched by the hand of the German oppressor and its followers. All of them, holy and pure, may the Garden of Eden be their resting place. Therefore, may the Master of Mercy shelter them in the shelter of his wings for eternity and bind their souls with the bond of life. God is their inheritance, and may they find peaceful repose in their resting place. And let us say, Amen. And then we continue responsively together. We remember them on page 6. In the rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. In the opening of buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the rustling of leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now a part of us, as we remember them. Asher, would you just read from where you are, the I believe on that bottom of that page for us?
I believe in the sun even when it is not shining. I believe in love even when feeling it not. I believe in God even when God is heaven.
And we join together the Mourner's Cottage, the last page of the program. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shmei Rabah, Be'alma Divrach Yotei, Yamlik Machutei, V'chayechon, V'yomechon, V'chayei the whole Beit Yisrael, Ba'adama, V'yizman Kariv, Ve'imru, Amen. Yahei Shmei Rabah, V'vorach Le'olam, V'omein Omanah. Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitparar, Yitram, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalah, Shmei, Risha, Richu, La'ela Minkol, Yirchatav, Shiratav, Tushbechatav, Nechematav, Ta'amiram Be'alma, V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Yisrael, Ve'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Ramav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Yisrael, Ve'imru, Amen. May the memories of those we lost be a blessing and inspiration for a life of kindness and good deeds. And we say, Amen. And we conclude our service this evening of remembrance for Yom HaShoah.